I would say just like don't give up. Like I don't know. I know a lot of young producers that get really discouraged from social media because you see that there's like a 17-year-old kid that produced a platinum song, and I'm 27 years old. I don't have a platinum song, right? So that can be a little discouraging. But just don't give up, right? If you like music, you're passionate about it. There's, you know, find something positive out of what you're doing, right? The project I just put out with Frizzy, it means so much to me. I'm super happy about it because I've had a lot of songs and projects come out with a beat of mine or something like that, but he used my beats for the whole project. And that's super encouraging, right? Makes you want to find more artists to do a whole project with, right? Yeah. So find something that is encouraging you and focus on that. Don't focus on the noise of social media, everyone that's doing so much here, so much there, right? Just focus on you. Every song you make, every video you make, every piece of content you do, like our friend tells us, Sean, 1% better each time, right? Yeah. So it's a slow and steady grind. Music is not something that you just learn overnight, and that's why not everyone. If everyone would be good at it, everyone would do it. You know what I mean?
Welcome to another episode of Platinum Lyrics and Beats. I'm your host, Trey Boy. I teach aspiring music producers how to create and sell dope beats online without the confusion and frustration of wondering where to start. On Platinum Lyrics and Beats, we look to assist you in getting started in your music production career and help you make some life-changing music and money. Today, I'm excited because we have a dope engineer in the studio, in the building, in the lab. He's not just an engineer. He is a music producer, too. We're going to talk about that, all right? Not many dudes can do that. I don't know too many cats that can do that, but this dude is special, all right? Gabey Baby is from Washington, D.C. Now he's based out of L.A., all right? L.A., he's on the West Coast. What up, what up, all right? Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Gabey Baby. What's going on?
What up? How's it going? Thanks for having me, Trey Boy. I'm so excited to be here.
Man, thank you for I'm finally able to catch up with you, man, and get you in the session with Platinum Lyrics and Beats, man. You busy, you moving around, making tracks, man. Oh, you on projects, man, engineering projects, man. What's going on in your life? How's life, man?
Life's good. Like you said, man. Been busy. Been working a lot, having a lot of late nights, you know how it goes. But yeah, excited to catch up with you, talk about everything. You know, the music game is crazy. Everything's always changing. There's always new people. So, hey, man, let's get into it.
Yeah. Not too many producers are engineers and vice versa. All right. How did you get to do both, man?
Well, I kind of started out more producing. Well, producing is kind of where I started out. Really, like making beats is like my real passion. But once you get to kind of working with artists and you start working with more people, you kind of have to learn the lingo of like how to record, how to mix, and all that. And the more you're in the studio, the more you're around all that. I don't know. I feel like it's just a natural progression for a lot of producers to get into engineering. You know what I mean? So
okay, so if I'm hearing you correct, you're saying producing is more natural than in audio engineering, or am I wrong about that?
Well, I guess when I was younger, producing came a lot more naturally, but as I've developed my production skills and techniques, I guess I've become a lot more interested and a lot more passionate about audio engineering because I mean, it's a lot of fun, it's cool to get into it, and there's all the more kind of nitpicky you get about all the details of how things are recorded and what kind of mic should I use? What should I use? Like plugins should I use for this? What sounds better on this kind of vocal? Yeah. Then it gets a little more interesting,
Okay, so I was wrong about that. I was wrong. You leaning more towards the audio engineering part. Man, that's crazy. I wish that I could I could be an audio engineer. Not really, but I mean the talent of to be able to produce music and mix your own music. I've been doing this for like 15 years. I can mix to a certain level, but not like someone like yourself or an audio engineer that has been doing it for a while. It always comes out where I just don't like the mix. It's always something wrong with it when I listen to it. And when I put it into, engineers' hands, it's like they just elevate it to, a whole nother level. So really, I can really appreciate what you do. I don't know how you do it, but I can appreciate what you do, man. When did you know that, okay, I'm pretty dope at this music producer, in the music producer game? When did you find it out? When was that moment? Did somebody tell you, or did you produce a track and you was like, I got it. I got it. Gabey Baby is here to stay.
I don't know. I guess like the earliest moments. I mean, I guess when I'm like you're a young kid and you show your music to a friend and they like it, kind of thing. That's just kind of a feeling from a really early age you kind of get addicted to. But there's always just kind of like steps along the way of like, I mean, I'm 27 years old. I've been making music since I was in high school. So there's always been small things like, like or when I also came up playing the drums. So if someone tells you you played it really well, you just want to keep doing it. So I had a good friend. The first thing that comes to mind when I was in high school, I had a friend whose name is Gilly. He's an artist. He still makes music. He's into like doing some like what do you say, more Latin kind of Bad Bunny vibe kind of music now. And speaking Spanish, he's speaking all kinds of languages now, which is crazy.
Wow.
But I don't know. We made a song coming up that was about Pokemon Go. So I took a sample from the Pokemon Go video game and I made a beat out of it. And he kind of turned it into a rap song, and it was good. We put it on SoundCloud. We got a couple thousand plays, I think.
Wow.
So yeah, that was kind of. I guess the earliest moment was that Pokemon Go song that I could really think of. That was crazy.
Yeah. Who influenced you to be a producer and engineer? Because you started out producing and then you went into engineer. Who are those people that influenced you?
I guess my earliest influences like producing were people like Zaytoven, like Murda
Oh,
Beats, like
okay.
those kind of guys. I listened to a lot of Migos when I was in high school,
Okay.
and I loved those beats. Like when I was like kind of started making beats, that's the kind of stuff I was listening to. So
Okay.
that's kind of what really inspired me.
Okay, okay, man, you making me feel dated, man. You say you was listening to Migos in high school, man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the early stuff, not like when it was the stuff that's like with Cardi B and like
Yeah,
Bad and Bougie. That's like
yeah,
kind of. I'm talking about like when they had those really early tapes, like Daft
yeah,
kind of era stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a older music producer. So I try not to, show my age a lot, man. But I'm a little older producer. But I still rock with y'all youngsters, man. I still enjoy the sound, the new sounds, man, and your beats. I listen to your beats, man. Dope beats. We'll get into that a little later, but I can appreciate that. What would you say is the main difference between music production and audio engineering?
That's a good question. I'd say music production is more from like a kind of sound design perspective, like choosing the right sound to really like this clap works with this
Yeah,
strings or this flute. Like what flute should I use? Like does this flute sound better than this flute? Like I already got this MIDI pattern. What sort of synth should I use? You know what I mean? It's a little more of a sound design kind of perspective. Not to say audio engineers don't do that, but I guess producers it's more of like a I don't know creative musical kind of thing. Audio engineering I would say is more focused on like the technical, so like the hertz, right, the
yeah,
frequencies, right,
yeah,
the decibels,
yeah,
right, the LUFS,
yeah,
what's the loudest in the unit has to come out at,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So audio engineering is more focused on kind of like the nitty gritty and the technical, and music production I say not to say audio engineering isn't creative. I don't want to say music production is more creative, but more creative in the musical, like really putting down the music sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're definitely using two of the different parts of the brain. You're definitely using two of the different
Right,
parts of the
right.
brain when you're talking about audio engineering and producing music. Uh, I like I say, I can appreciate both, but man, it's a special person that can do both. To the young aspiring engineers out there, what would you tell them as far as getting started if they want to become an audio engineer? If maybe they're a producer now, maybe they're not, but what would you tell them as far as getting started?
Well, the best way to get started, if you're already making music, if you already have something going on, if you have a passion for music, this will help me get started. So when I was in school and I didn't really have so much responsibility, bills, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I found some studios that I could kind of intern at and be around and learn from people. So when I was in college, there was a studio near me. It was called Grind Hard Studio, and it was just a place. I was just going to a shoe store. There was just a shoe store in town. I was checking out the shoes, but I started talking to these guys about music and beats, and then they're like, "Oh, we have a recording studio." They showed me the recording studio. There's a guy back there literally recording a song, and so I was like, "Oh, this is cool." So I came around there a lot and was just helping out. And then I started learning from Rob, who was the engineer there. His name is Nimbus Mixed It.
Okay.
He's the man. He's got like probably what I say is the nicest studio in the Washington D.C. area. It's out in Maryland. It's kind of near the MGM for Washington. But yeah, man, I would say to a young engineer is find a studio in your area. Say like, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. I really love music. I hear what you guys got going on. I'd love to come by, maybe blah, blah, blah. See if you want to be an intern at a studio. Long story short, just put yourself out there, hit up studios around you. Don't just Google the first studio, find an email and send it to them. Find things that are doing music you're passionate about. Look up artists or engineers in your area that, I don't know, maybe have a contacted email or they post about a studio that's in your area. That kind of thing. Just find a studio and see if you can intern, clean the floors, print out some paperwork, go get coffee, that kind of thing. That's my best recommendation for anyone upcoming.
Yeah, major gems right there, man. Major gems. Some of the studios you worked in, you would say that those are some of the nicer ones. Being in California, what studios have you visited?
Yeah, well, when I moved out here, I was trying to work at a lot of different studios. Like I was on that grind, like hitting up studios, that kind of thing. I ended up being an assistant engineer actually at the studio called Henson, which is a studio out here. It's actually founded by Charlie Chaplin. It's a really old studio.
Okay.
Some crazy artists are there all the time. John Mayer is there all the time.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber was there recording. Marshmello was there. Like crazy artists that came by. I wasn't in the studio watching. They got their whole thing, but I kind of saw what was going on. I set up some of the sessions, broke some of them down. Like Justin Bieber had this huge orchestra session. Like if you look up on YouTube, like Justin Bieber conducting orchestra.
Wow.
Like there's like him in this big studio, like 50, 60 people that we set up all these mics for.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. Henson, and then there was this other studio that was called Good Love. That's on Hollywood Boulevard that I was being an engineer at.
Okay.
Which is the other one? Fab Factory. Dave Pensato, the guy that does Pensato's Place on YouTube.
Okay.
I was an intern at that studio for a little bit. The same kind of thing, just cleaning around, helping out.
Wow.
Keeping the operations of the studio moving.
Wow.
And just being a friendly face to smile at when these guys step out of these loud rooms and, I want someone to talk to or share a story,
Right. What kind of music do you enjoy mixing better? Is it hip hop? Is it pop? Is it R&B? What genre would you prefer to mix?
Well, the genre I prefer to mix mostly is like hip hop. So some of the artists I work with, like Goonew, Fontaine, some artists that I recorded back when I was in DC, and some I recorded them have been in LA too. But more hip hop guys, that's really kind of like my specialty.
Okay.
It's also like, I don't know. I'm not to say it's not a complex music form, but hip hop, you can just punch, record people.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can have a song done in less than 10, 15 minutes, a lot of these other songs where you have to be melodyne and really change the pitch and maybe record it 20, 15 times till you really lock in that right melody or whatever, it might be kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah. But man, I've made some really great songs with some guys in less than half an hour, and there's songs that I still play, like that I made in like 2016, 2017 that are on my iTunes that I still listen to when I'm in like going on the airplane or something. Right.
Yeah.
It's easy to make timeless music like with hip hop too, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Name a song that you're most proud of that you either produce or mixed? Like when you listen to this song, you're like, yeah, I did that.
The first one that comes to mind is a song by Fontaine. It's called Walk Walk. It was on No Jumper. Yeah, like walk, like walking. Not like walk, like what you're sipping.
Walk. Okay. All right. Okay.
But the song by Fontaine, it was on No Jumper. The video is really cool. I was really proud of how we mixed it. And the producer on that song, his name is Ryder Johnson, a really cool guy, makes super cool beats. I think he actually was a part of Internet Money, or maybe he still is.
Okay.
But Ty made this hook, or not hook, but like, producer tag kind of
Uh-huh.
thing. He was like, "Damn, Ryder." He just kind of said that at the beginning of the song,
Yeah.
and then we bounced that out and sent it to Ryder, and he like used it on a ton of other songs too. So
Wow.
that gets me like really like thinking about that and happy about that, because that song turned out great. And then the tag that we sent to Ryder, like he still used it, so it was pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. I want to get into some of your your secrets, some of your secrets, with your mix, with your flow when you mixing up a song. You know, there may be an aspiring engineer out there now. It's like, man, I don't know what plugins to use. Should I use 10 plugins? Should I use 15 plugins? What plugins should I use? Vocals to make the punch on the the kick, the 808 hotter. What plugins do you use and why? Or how many do you
Okay.
use? What plugins do you use and why?
Sure, sure. Well, as you know, as probably anybody knows, there's thousands and thousands of plugins out
Yep.
there, right?
Yep.
But you gotta like, as you develop your sound, as you keep making music, you start to realize which ones you start to go to more, right?
Yeah.
So the ones that I kind of my go-to ones now, if we're talking about like making music, my favorite synth right now, I use like a lot of Omnisphere, a
Okay.
lot of Expand.
Okay.
Expand is like, I think is super underrated. Is one of the
Okay.
best ones.
Okay.
Um, Arcade by Output,
Yeah. Yeah.
super good one. It's kind of like Contact. It's got a lot of cool sounds, but Contact I feel is a bit overwhelming. I don't have Contact; it's too expensive,
Okay.
and I don't want to crack that. But for mixing, basically, like honestly, I use a lot of stock plugins. Ableton has tons of great stock plugins,
Yeah.
but on like a mastering end, well, the ones that I usually don't use that are not stock are like saturation plugins, stuff like Isotope Trash.
Okay.
Unison Mangler is
Okay.
another really good saturation one. I use Unison Mangler on like 808s a lot,
Okay.
and I use the Trash plugin on like hi hats. It can give a
Okay.
lot of cool hi hat tones
Yeah.
and stuff. Same
Yeah.
on all the drums,
Yeah.
but you got to get some cool saturation sounds. And then for like the master track, I usually use like a lot of like Ozone, like Isotope Ozone. So I'll
Yeah.
just put Ozone on the top and like
Yeah.
kind of play with the width of each different set. Like it's cool how you can do the frequency bands of the width of each different band,
Right.
and then you can do like an exciter on each different band. So
Okay.
Ozone, I mean, if they do student pricing too. So if you're a student, you can get Ozone for like $60, and it's like a really, really. I'm like a teacher too, so I get teacher discounts on like everything. I just send a
Great.
picture of my teacher ID. I teach one drum lesson every week, and I have a
Okay.
teacher ID, so
Okay.
I get teacher discounts on everything.
Okay.
So that's another gem, I guess, getting teacher IDs or student IDs. But Ozone, and then the last thing I use, the limiter I use on everything is L2 by Waves. That's like
Okay.
my all-time favorite plugin is L2, because it's
L2.
just so easy, so simple to use. Drag a little thing down, and it just sounds so good. It
It's
just sounds
simple.
beautiful.
It's simple.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like you have a lot of fun with your plugins, man.
I
Yeah.
do, I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Back in the day, we used to have a set. I'm still using Pro Tools, man. I'm old school. I still use Pro Tools, man. I like cooking everything up from scratch. But we had a suite, you had a certain suite of plugins you would use on certain tracks. The same as, the engineers. And I don't really bug out a lot on plugins because, like I say, once I lay the tracks, it's pretty basic, it's raw, and I just send it to you guys, man. Send it to the
Hmm.
engineers, man. Do your thing. All right, picture this. You have 24 hours in the studio with one artist, right? They want you to produce a track and engineer. They want you to produce the track and do the engineering on the track. They want you to be the audio engineer on this track. One artist, right? Who are you? What artist are you stuck in the studio with? 24 hours. What artist? You can only name one.
One artist, the only artist I'm locked in with right now, the biggest artist in the world. I would not waste this opportunity on a small artist. I gotta say Lil Baby. I gotta say Lil Baby. Because that if I get that chance, I'm only getting that chance one time. You know what I mean? So
I
I
got you.
can't waste that. I can't waste that.
I got you. I got you. Well, you spoke it. You spoke it. It's out there, man. So it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen, man.
Someday, one
Yeah,
day.
yeah. It's gotta happen. Why, little baby?
I just feel like he doesn't miss, man. Just every single song he puts out is like crazy. Like the lyrics are crazy. That there's the one that was with Lil Durk. Every chance that I get on the DJ Khaled album.
Okay,
I think that's just like one. I think that was the best song, like the best rap song of the year. I
okay.
feel like that should have won the Grammy. The whole new Lil Baby album with like California Breeze,
Mhm.
like that whole album is good. Like, just Lil Baby doesn't miss. And I do a lot of the similar kind of beats. Like I'm trying to do more of that now, like with a lot of those crazy strings, those
Okay.
pianos and stuff, you
Yeah.
know. But still like a simple but kind of going somewhere 808 pattern, you know.
Right.
So I don't
Right.
know, man. I feel like if I got him the right beat, it would just be the craziest song. You know what I mean? I got beats ready for Lil Baby, so that's all I'm saying.
Hey. Speak. Talk that talk. Talk that talk, Gabey Baby.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It just doesn't miss. Just doesn't miss.
Yeah. Talk that talk, man. Hey, what do you have available to bless the people with? You know, you working anything, any new projects? I know you have beats out there, man. Where can the people find your stuff at? Or what's coming up?
Well, I got beats out there. I got all my beats. I post a lot of content on my YouTube. So youtube.com/Gabey Baby. I post beats pretty much almost every day. I'm trying to get into do more educational content for like just like you're doing, man, for up and coming producers, giving producers tips and tricks,
Yeah.
talking about the news. Also, I just put out a project recently. So I got this artist that I work a lot with, Frizzy Vasquez from
Okay.
New York, good friend
Okay.
of mine. He just put out a project called As I Was Saying. All my beats, 13 tracks. He did his thing, really great.
The
He got a lot
whole
of love.
the whole project is you?
The whole project. Yeah, I didn't mix it. He mixed it. But all 13 beats, all my beats. Yep, the
Dope.
whole project.
Dope.
So that was a lot of love because that's the first real artist to really do that is do a whole project just my beats. So it really means a lot to me. So shout out to you, Frizzy, because yeah, really means a lot to me, this project.
Dope, man. Dope. It's nice when you can work with an artist on a whole project, and it's even nicer when that artist puts the music out, and they're not sitting.
Yeah,
They're not
true.
sitting. They're not sitting on the project like you. Like, man, we put in all this work. You're not going to put it out. I can't believe it. Yeah.
Some of the best music I've recorded and mixed has not been released.
Hey, man.
So I know exactly what you're talking about, bro.
I was just talking to another producer about this on another episode, man. We was going into it, how scary it is to work with artists, and you put your all into it, and they're like, I don't know. I said, what you mean you don't know, man? I don't know, you know. So it is what it is. But if we stay consistent and we look at the game of music and how it impacts, you know, we can stay inspired, you know, to continue to put the music out and do our things, our thing. And of course, eventually, if we keep swinging, we'll hit. Yeah.
Right.
If we keep swinging, man, you just keep swinging, man. Stay at the plate, and you know you may have to bunt even every now and then, but just keep swinging, man. Keep going after it, and eventually you would hit. Something would take off, and all of the rest of the work that you had in the past, people would be like, okay, what else do you have? All right, I got you. So, Gabey Baby, this has been a dope episode. I really appreciate you joining the Platinum Lyrics and Beats podcast, everything, man, to go along with it. All right, this is the segment where we give platinum advice to the aspiring music producers, the aspiring engineers, and maybe even artists that's out there, man. What advice would you give to a young producer, engineer, or even artist? Platinum advice. Let's go, Gabey Baby.
Platinum advice. Well, number one, ton of resources out there. Get on YouTube, get on Google, start looking up answers to your question. If you're thinking like, oh, I need to learn about chord progressions, don't just keep asking yourself, what's a chord progression? Go on YouTube, best chord progression of this song, right? Go on Reddit. Reddit is a great place to find drum kits, find samples, right? Use the internet. That's like your number one resource. Number two, I would say just like, don't give up. Like, I don't know. I know a lot of young producers that get really discouraged from social media because you see that there's like a 17-year-old kid that produced a platinum song, and I'm 27 years old. I don't have a platinum song, right? So that can be a little discouraging. But just don't give up, right? If you like music, you're passionate about it. There's, you know, find something positive out of what you're doing, right? The project I just put out with Frizzy, it means so much to me. I'm super happy about it because I've had a lot of songs and projects come out with a beat of mine or something like that, but he used my beats for the whole project. And that's super encouraging, right? Makes you want to find more artists to do a whole project with, right? Yeah. So find something that is encouraging you and focus on that. Don't focus on the noise of social media, everyone that's doing so much here, so much there, right? Just focus on you. Every song you make, every video you make, every piece of content you do, like our friend tells us, Sean, 1% better each time, right? Yeah. So it's a slow and steady grind. Music is not something that you just learn overnight, and that's why not everyone. If everyone would be good at it, everyone would do it. You know what I mean? Right. So just keep at it, keep your head up. I guess those are my two big pieces of advice, right? Use your resources, use the internet, and don't get discouraged.
Hey, man, couldn't have said it no better than that. Gabey Baby, thank you for being a guest on the show, man. Appreciate you. Have a good week, man.
Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it.
We out. Peace.